Every situation that comes your way, there is a remedy. There is a wisdom, there is a knowledge, there is a training that if you have, you can apply to that thing and you come out successfully. The reason why you are struggling is because you do not have that training, you do not have that wisdom, you do not have that knowledge. And the problem is that you are not willing to go through it, because for many of them, it will take years, it will take days, it will take submission, it will take humbleness. Professor Akwadi was speaking of how he was coming from abroad, met a senior servant of God, and he said, "Where are you coming from?" He said, "Oh, I went to do some work." And the man of God said, "Oh." Then after a while, the senior servant asked him, "But where is your wife?" He said, "Oh, I left here and this." And after a while, the senior said, "Don't do those things. It's not good." And he was wondering, why? What's wrong? I left. And he said, "No, let me give you a secret. Whenever you go and minister, after you have ministered, you come back to yourself. You come back to your flesh. And there is that desire that you want to have a woman. And therefore, if your wife is not around, you can fall into trouble. So don't do that. It could be a problem for you." The thing is that maybe the senior man of God, he didn't get anybody, but he has suffered it, but he has learned. And because he has gone through that phase, that's why he was able to give that wisdom and training to him. Do you think that if he did not submit to that senior man of God, he would have given him that revelation? No. We get up and point hands at fathers. Look at him. You, this is my father. Oh, yes, sir. It is true. Your father did girls. But there's still some wisdom that he can release to. That because your father did guess, did drink, it doesn't mean you should not submit to your father. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Yes. Even when we look at the kingdom of God today, the young believers no more ban. We behave as if like and they did nothing. Are you serious? Archbishop will say, "Who begot you?" Who begot you? Are you serious? Do you know the things that those fathers have gone in to lay that foundation that today we are building on? The kingdom, everybody is a soldier. Everybody is defending something. Apostle Paul said, "Put on the full armor." And ye are soldier for just that ye different. Under the Old Testament, when you go to the house of the Levite for ye gatekeepers, ye carriers, ye soldiers, but they are Levites as of. Are you following it? So if we are soldiers, then we have generals, captains, and all those rest. In the place of war, there are casualties. That's what you must know. So the fact that Papa Neshi from or baby or bonsam nesomano, Apostle Paul said, "Be not ignorant of the devices." So in that area, he was what? Ignorant. He was ignorant. Said, "Look, I shouldn't be traveling long ways without my wife." If it was not the father who revealed that thing to him, he would have kept on doing it. And one day, that ignorance, the trap would get him. The trap does not mean say, "Saye papa no ondo nyamio." And on say he was not a warrior for Jesus. Are you following what I'm saying? It is in the place of war. Where was he going? Where was he going? So he was doing his job as a soldier, and the enemy was able to use his ignorance and break him. Are you following what I'm saying? That does not mean say we give up on them and we say anything that we want to say about them. In Psalm there is a lot that Jesus is going to teach you, and he's going to come back and bring it to the kingdom. Are you following what I'm saying? You have the privilege that you can learn from him. Learn so that you do not what? And that's why Apostle Paul is saying that a reckless generation, a reckless generation, a reckless generation. So personally, me, any father, I don't do those things. I respect them. The revelation concerning fathers and concerning his kingdom. No. I am not the one to judge. When Eli was doing the wrong thing, it was not Samuel who went to judge. As a matter of fact, someone problem. The man had to tell him, say, "Hey, so one car, no member also." Before the boy voiced it out. Because the thing that God said that he had to tell the father, it was too heavy for him. And who raised Samuel up? The same man of God that God is saying, "I'm going to deal with you," is the same person God gave Samuel to raise. In the morning, I said, when the Lord came, he said, Samuel. Samuel went to Eli. He said, "You called me." He said, "You didn't come." God came again, and I was asking myself, now when you are I'm afraid so Onimu voice. Why don't you tell him, say, I am God? What does it reveal? God has respect for authority. Samuel is under the authority of Eli. He brought him to him so that he can raise him up. He can train him. Many of you were brought to be trained, but you will not allow yourself to be trained. You think you know more than we know. And that is why I am sorry to tell you, if care is not taken, you might fall into that pit and nobody can pull you out of that pit except Jesus. Except Jesus.